All right. I was going to talk today a little bit about being ourselves and how it's kind of hard by design. Um, most of this stuff, most of the stuff that we talk about is hard by design. And, you know, the more I think about it and like really tune into all of the aspects, like it all ties back into how we were parented. And when we were children, our parents, I'm sure, with the best of intentions, were constantly micromanaging us. They were like, stand up tall, don't talk so loud, don't talk so quiet. I use that one as an example a lot because that was something that I got both the don't be so loud and now I can't hear you because I just couldn't find that medium, right? Knowing now in retrospect, I'm like, oh yeah, par for the course. Um, yes, I am autistic. What do you know? Volume control is something we have a hard time with. The thing is about this micromanaging is that it gets down in our nervous system and we start to second guess everything because our parents, again, probably with the best of intentions, I don't think that they thought we were just completely unacceptable little beings. Maybe that's possible, but you know, it's more about them just wanting us to be socially acceptable and to have good lives. So they spent all this time micromanaging who we were, how we talked, our expression, the way we stood, the all of the little things, right? And so this led to us second guessing ourselves in every single aspect. And now there's this other layer that's added to this. It's also a very social layer, is that there is a wide belief that if humans were to do what feels good to them, if humans were to be true to themselves, that they would become complete and total like miscreants, ruffians, like everything would go to poo for lack of a better term. So that adds to this layer where we're constantly second guessing everything we do, from the volume in which we speak to um whether our choices, our lifestyle and all of that is acceptable or harmful or bad. And in all of that noise, it's really hard not only to know what feels best to us and know who we are, but to actually act on that and to feel comfortable and confident in that. Um, I truly don't believe that a majority of humans would just like, for lack of a better term, like go full on purge if all of these social rules and constructs and all of these things didn't even exist. A majority of people would continue to live their lives exactly the same ways that they live their lives. So very little would change. Some laws, of course, we follow because they're laws and we don't want to get in trouble. And, we're trying to be upstanding citizens. But it's that second part that really matters, is that we are trying to be upstanding citizens, humans in general. And in that, we don't actually, unless we're got a lot of other things going on. We don't usually just go around creating harm, not paying attention to our impact, all of that other stuff. Well, maybe the impact part, humans aren't very good at that. I keep catching myself in my language here. I feel like it's really important nuance, though, that humans really aren't on the edge of being terrible and only held back by rules and constructs and laws and things like that. Um, in fact, we tend to be very caring and empathetic and tuned in to like a universal desire for things to be better for, even for like a majority. And of course there's all kinds of all of this negative, bad, all this things, right? But that doesn't define us as humans. And the interesting thing too that I see is like a lot of the typically negative stuff that we lean into, a lot of that is social construct as well. They're ideas and beliefs that we've been carrying over generationally that are still pretty harmful. So, um, you know, the point of this discussion was really to point out how we are disconnected from ourselves, from who we are, from being comfortable in our bodies by design. And um, looking back in towards ourselves and in little ways, again, I encourage it frequently, all the time, every chance I get. In little ways, if we can just start being true to us, being true to our heart in teeny tiny little ways. Doesn't have to be big giant shifts or any major life changes. Just maybe for once start talking and we don't adjust our volume, and that's of course my own like example based on my own experience where I start talking and I'm immediately like I'm back there thinking about my tone of voice and is it too loud? Is it too soft? Is it too edgy? Is it too sharp? Is it too this? Is it too that? And maybe just for once in our lives, we could just one little thing like that we know we micromanage and second guess ourselves on, like our voices. Um, just make a teeny little adjustment there and speak your words without wondering how they sound to somebody else's ears. Just let it fall. And little by little, if we do that, we get to reclaim the pieces of ourselves that we have become afraid of and the pieces of ourselves that we push away. And it's fairly like for our quality of life and to be able to live a life that feels more comfortable. It's a fairly important thing that we really start to look in towards ourselves and find ways that we can be more comfortable in our bodies and be more comfortable with who we are. So I'll leave it at that. I just felt it was really important to talk about how pushed away from our own selves and our own center and the things that are the most important to us we are. And when we're focused on trying to be socially acceptable and making sure that everything impacts and hits in a certain way and all of these other details, you know, it makes relaxing in any given moment almost impossible. And we deserve that in our lives. We deserve the space and the ability to be able to relax and be able to be comfortable in this body that we're walking through this earth on. So I'll leave it at that and get to the sharing portion of the call.